Steamer Harry Brewis, a
K.A.H.
bomber guy, has raised over $340,000 for United Kingdom trans charity Mermaids by hosting a star-studded Donkey Kong 64 marathon. Mermaids works to raise awareness about gender nonconformity in children and teens, and is actively campaigning for the recognition of gender dysphoria in young people. The organization's wider goal is to relieve the mental and emotional stress of those struggling with gender identity issues by supporting them and their families, raising awareness among the public, and campaigning for more professional support. Despite doing vitally important work, the charity was recently targeted by writer Graham Linehan on For Father Ted and the It Crowd, has been campaigning for a group's national lottery funding to be pulled. Brewis started his stream in response to Linehan's cynical efforts, and although he only initially hoped to raise around $500, the event quickly snowballed. Indeed, supporters from the games industry and beyond rallied around Brewis, who was assisted by a number of familiar faces including Donkey Kong and Banjo-Kazooie composer Grant Kirkhope,
U.S.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Dunco creator John Romero, helping the dedicated streamer obliterate his initial target. The entire event lasted for almost 60 hours, and ultimately succeeded in turning Linehan's toxic campaign against mermaids into a massive win for the charity and those it supports. You can find the full stream over on Brewis' Twitch channel, and those of you still keen to help out can donate to Mermaids via the charity's official website. Apparently today is Pound Kid Blue Monday, the saddest day of the year. This weekend one guy raised over $340,000 for mermaids by playing Donkey Kong online and uniting the world behind trans kids and the trans community. Thanks to Ed Barbadai. This Monday is awesome. Mermaids Monday Peak. Twitter.com QFATMQ. Tuku1. It looks like Epic Games Fortnite is host to a series of bugs that have since been fixed, which, if the COULDHNVEXPOSEDTHE accounts of any of its 200 million players. This is not the first time Fortnite vulnerabilities have been exploited. Around this time last year, players noticed that hackers had been making fraudulent charges to their accounts after taking advantage of well-known hacking techniques. As reported by Checkpoint, the CYBERSCCU right ULFIRM, if the flaws were EXPLOITEDTHEYWOULD have stolen the account access token set on the player's device once they entered their password. After the access token had been stolen, it could be used to impersonate the player and log in, as if they were the account holder without needing their password. According to these researchers, the flaw lies in how Epic processes login requests. Hackers could send any user a special link that, on the surface, looks as if it came from Epic Games' own domain. This in turn would allow a hacker to steal an access token needed to break into an account. As for how the bug worked, the researchers say that after a user clicks on the link, which points to an Epic Games.com subdomain, the hacker would embed a link to malicious code on their own server by exploiting a cross-site weakness in the subdomain. Once clicked, with no need for the user to enter any login credentials, their Fortnite username and password could immediately be captured. Epic has since fixed the vulnerability. We were made aware of the vulnerabilities, and they were soon addressed. We thank Checkpoint for bringing this to our attention, said Epic in a statement. As always, We encourage players to protect their accounts by not reusing passwords and using strong passwords, and not sharing account information with others. For a more detailed explanation of how the bugs worked, click here. Now that broadband internet access is available to billions of people, video games can be more than discrete, unchanging products. Games can live and grow over time, and it's never been more important to understand what it takes to keep a live game fresh and exciting over time. That's why game developers, conference organizers, want to draw your attention to some of the great DD 2019 talks aimed at helping you become a better live game developer. Even if you do not think of your game as an ongoing service, knowing what works and what does not in live game development will make you a more well-rounded game maker. Notably, game industry veteran Rich Vogel will be at DD 2019 in March to present an exciting talk on lessons learned in the trenches developing games as a service. You want to see this talk because Vogel, now a VP at a certain Affinity, will discuss his journey as a studio director building Fallout 76, Battlecry, Star Wars, The Old Republic, and Star Wars Galaxies. Vogel aims to weave a narrative that talks about how each one of these titles changed the way he approaches development in general, as well as running the game as a service. He will discuss the lessons he learned working on each title, and provide great examples from the trenches that helped shape what he did on his next game in terms of project management, leadership, recruiting, and running a live service. Plus, Grinding Gear Games, the folks behind the Sleeper Hit Path of Exile, will be at the show this year to show you how they found success with the free-to-play online action RPG. In Designing Path of Exile Later Be Played Forever, Grinding Gears Chris Wilson will show you how a plan for long-term, sustainable development took Path of Exile's active playerBase from the thousands to the millions. Wilson will walk you through how to structure releases in 2 seasons, with predictable release dates and scope, how to reuse content for rapid development, how to use procedural generation to keep content from feeling stale, how to employ multiple overlapping axes of randomness for additional replayability, how to design deep gameplay systems that keep players engaged, and how to grow a community over a long period of time. And in Cooking with
A.
Ask a mellow approach to post-launch game content, EGOV leaks, let producer CK will reveal how the studio successfully pivoted to tackle a live game during development of the studio's 2015 hit digital BOARDGAMEARANELLONOBODY planned on it being a live game. But that's what ended up happening. Come to this talk to learn what tools, processes, and third-party services contributed to the ongoing success of iMelo's long tail. In addition, you will also learn about community best practices and what studios should be investing in now for future GOS titles. Finally, do not overlook a QA perspective on live game production, presented by Read2Moto-led game tester Michael Mark Lawson. This talk offers a unique QA perspective on the pitfalls and lessons learned from a growing and evolving game as a service. Working on Heroes Generals, a game that merges first-person shooter action with a strategic layer, where player decisions can turn the tide in an ongoing war. The Read2Moto team has evolved their development and test processes over the years into an effective agile model. Make time to swing by and you will learn how a proven agile test flow for a large production on a live game can improve the quality of the product, lower the risk of failure, and make for a happier workplace. You will also walk away with practical advice you can use in your own projects, so do not skip it. Further details on these talks and many more are available now on THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to GD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. We have been developing and publishing games independently since 2010, and every year has been some wild new adventure. But like many devs,